That's fair enough. But I think the point stands. Twitter is something, it's unique. Its function as a global public square is unique, and it has network effects that are also unique. And for that reason, a lot of stakeholders are going to do everything they can to prevent Elon from going the direction he seems to be going in. He has a very difficult position. He needs to exercise a lot of caution. He needs to approach things with finesse. And I would say so far he's done about as well as we could reasonably expect him to do, given what the stakes are and given what he's up against.
Yeah, there's a couple hiccups that he deserves to be criticized on legitimately, but you do make a good point, because where else could you see the president of the ADL go after Elon Musk, and Elon Musk respond saying, hey, stop defaming me? Yeah. Where else could you see Kanye West say shalom, right? This hive mind, this online reality is amazing, and the people quitting it, there's a reason they're coming back. All these people, all these actors, hey, I'm quitting Twitter. Hey, I'm still quitting Twitter, but I want to make one more post and another post. And this is again something very similar to what we saw with Neil Young with Spotify. This is the same thing we saw with all these celebrities saying that they're going to be moving to Canada. A lot of these people are all talk. They're all hard, no bite. And we have to understand these threats are empty, and they need to be called out as ridiculous, because Twitter is where it's at right now. It's fun, it's entertaining, and it's where I'm at.
It's the old St. Augustine, Lord, make me chaste, but not yet.
Exactly.
This is amazing. When Kanye West gets reinstated, people are starting to feel like I don't have to worry about cancel culture. I don't have to walk on eggshells. Where's Kanye tweet? Shalom. The ADL, some guy, he tweeted, he's openly mocking us now. It's like, so what? Like, the problem is these people were overly sensitive. I don't think Kanye West is anti-Semite. I think he's probably got some wacky views. I think he said some silly things. But I think if you sat down with him and talked to him, you'd understand, right? He's not like this caricature of a guy marching around with a hood and a tiki torch or anything like that. But these people want to say that libs of TikTok, for instance, by simply tweeting out, retweeting videos posted by people publicly, she's murdering them. So there's this viral tweet, I comment on it, where they're like, libs of TikTok has murdered hundreds of LGBT people by sharing these videos. And it's like, no, the videos are public. Libs of TikTok isn't doing anything. If that's their standard, and people have to abide by those kind of psychotic individuals, they're scared to speak out. Now, Elon comes in and says, have fun, guys, and what do we see? Spicy memes, jokes, trolling, and fun. And you know what, Jack White? Look at his mic. Play music, dude. I don't care.
But now,
we'll have
everyone's gonna think I own it. Because Magnus
go back to Beat Wars.
Be a joke.
Yeah, it's sad and pathetic. But yeah, the whole thing about libs of TikTok killing people, they have this new term that a lot of kind of midwit mediocrities with master's degrees are talking about.
That your father's doing? Or did you get it from your mom?
And it's really such a joke concept, but it effectively means that you can't criticize anyone because the possibility that the criticism would be out there in the ether and some crazy person might attack some kind of affiliated group, and then of course you're responsible.
You're gonna be my
so it's the latest of many censorship predicates. The little child what's her name? Chayo? Is that her name? She puts stochastic terrorists in her bio. And now I'm seeing these leftist journalists be like, she's openly bragging about doing it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you really not understand someone being facetious, taking fun of you for calling them that? Or are you attached to it? You know what, man? I'm glad Elon bought Twitter, because he took over the space, and it is nuts to see this. Like Luke mentioned, telling the president of ADL, like, I can't believe Elon's doing this with ENB because he promised us, and then Elon says, stop defaming me. Like, that's openly mocking them. But I guess Elon Musk is the definition of nephew money. Just outright. We'll see how far it goes, but so far, I think he deserves credit, because there's so many people who think he would have that few money, but they never use it in that
You have to get into Freya quickly.
And
there's no other
I think
way.
Elon is setting an excellent example, stepping into the actual arena, playing for keeps, and seeing where things land. So give him major credit, and it's only just begun, so we'll see how it unfolds.
I think Elon actually tweeted at Trent Reznor, too, or tweeted about him or something. I don't know. Jack White posted on Instagram some long diatribe that's not worth reading. That's not free speech or what the poll decided or whatever nonsense you're claiming to be. This is straight up you trying to help a fascist have a platform so you can eventually get your tax breaks. Like, I don't think this guy knows anything about tax law. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, it's the typical sort of like maybe 105 IQ, burned out idiot kind of
If that's high.
pseudo clever conspiracy theory. It's always like some dumb financial incentive that doesn't even make sense if you actually know how these things work. There's a certain kind of framework for this particular type of accusation, and I would peg him around 105.
Well, let's do this.
That's high for me.
I'm gonna call out Elon Musk for hypocrisy. We have this tweet from Shoeonhead. She said, Elon Musk confirms he won't reinstate Alex Jones. However you feel about Alex Jones aside, am I wrong here? Like, not that there was much doubt before, but Elon just completely showed his ass. Elon said, my first child died in my arms. I felt his last heartbeat. I have no mercy for anyone who would use the deaths of children for gain, politics, or fame. Now that's interesting. Alex Jones was not banned from Twitter for anything related to any kids. Alex Jones was banned from Twitter because he insulted Oliver Darcy. Elon is insulting a reporter a bannable offense. Okay, ban yourself. I'll wait. Is Elon Musk going to ban himself? Is he going to shut up? Okay, look, I can respect all of the good things he's done, the people he's unbanned, and I will accept the win. What I will not accept is, I will say it this way, it is not victory for the people that we are living beneath the whims of a billionaire. What is a victory for the people is a clear set of rules, policies, and procedures so we can all fairly understand the rules of the platform. Elon, it's your platform. I understand that. What are the rules? If you come out and tell me the rule is free speech, I say, you got it, boss. If you come out and say the rule is you can't say this, that, otherwise I'll say, okay, well, it's dumb, but you got it, boss. If you come out and tell me the rules are A, but then, oh, by the way, I have special rules for other people, well, then your rules are garbage and completely meaningless. Now, what's really happening is you're unbanning people you like.
Well, that's a very interesting point, but what would you say to this is that what if in practice, in terms of how things cash out, it's actually maximizes free speech on Twitter to have an arbitrary system rather than to have a system that follows prescribed rules? Because you'd have to think, what kind of prescribed rules can he get away with? He could say what he said before, which is that the law of the land in terms of speech will govern speech policy on Twitter, which in the U.S. would mean First Amendment. I don't know if that's practical given the implications.
I understand that. So let's ask where the line is. Insulting a reporter, is that a bannable offense? Is that in need of flexibility?
I think they would all need flexibility, but I think it's easier to think in terms of who would be let back on versus kind of neutral principles that are kind of applied retroactively. In practice, he can get away with more if he pursues the arbitrary approach.
Of course.
In terms of maximizing free speech on Twitter.
And he's giving himself a legal argument here because he's outright saying that for this personal reason he will not be reinstating Alex Jones. I will stress, I absolutely feel and sympathize with Elon over this feeling of losing his son. I mean, it's a horrifying thing to have to experience, and I can respect and understand that. I just don't know what it has to do with Alex Jones insulting a reporter. Now, if we're going to argue there needs to be some flexibility, sure, but some things are within the bounds of the Overton window, and fine. Insulting a reporter, you don't get banned for it. Now, if you're arguing that there's harassment and what constitutes harassment, okay, now we're dealing with something more difficult.
Well, I'm saying more that at this stage, at least in practice, his assessment, and he could very well be right on this, is that he can't get away with allowing Alex Jones. He is probably imprudent, and I think he probably stepped over the line in attacking Jones the way he did, but the reality is probably he couldn't get Jones on. And that's the cost of doing all the other stuff that he's done.
Perhaps. I understand that. But I'm not going to apologize for Elon.
Oh, of course not.
I will accept the victories.
Right.
And we're seeing tremendous victories. It's funny. It's fun. We're laughing. There's jokes. There's memes. And all Elon had to do was not address the issue outright. It's probably the safest thing for him to do is, like, he's not addressed Carl Benjamin. We all want him unbanned. He's not addressed Milo. But he did specifically address Alex, then said he's not going to unban him because he did a thing 6 years prior to his Twitter ban that offends Elon. And that right there, I get it. Maybe he's going to have a legal argument in the future that clearly shows I will ban whoever I want for whatever reason. There's no rules whatsoever. And by doing so, if he does ban you, you can't sue him for contract because
through my garden there's a pathway to my
I'm happy he's at least
Return home,
telling
pick
us
up your paths, do
where
whatever you need
his
to
flawed
do.
decision is coming from, because it's an illogical decision that shows you that there's no pathway to redemption, and he's using emotional trauma in order to justify this larger banning for something that Alex Jones has already apologized for, something that Alex Jones is being fined $1.5 billion for, something that of course cost Alex Jones almost everything. But at the end of the day here, if we're going to be punishing people for using children for their own political gain or fame, my original response to this was, hey, Elon Musk, have you heard of Barack Obama, the guy who dropped a bomb every 20 minutes for 8 years? The guy who judicially, extrajudiciously assassinated a 16-year-old American citizen? If we're going to be punishing people for hurting children, we might as well ban the President of the United States. Let's not even get into Big Pharma. We don't even have to go into Big Pharma.
Hold on there a minute. Joe Biden out there groping and sniffing kids right now. You gonna ban him?
That's a lot different than dropping a bomb on small children.
No, I get it. I'm saying Obama's not the president anymore. So we have that argument. So ban him, obviously. And Joe Biden, who's currently the president, is on camera groping and sniffing children. So how about we have a standard? Oh, that's the problem. There's no standard.
Do you think any off-platform behavior warrants a ban?
Nope. Well, this is what Jack Conte of what's it, Patreon argued specifically. He created this new term, off-platform behavior.
Off-platform.
Off-platform behavior, which is absolutely ridiculous. Because again, you're going to arbitrarily say you did this 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I don't like that you did this.
It's cancel culture.
It's cancel culture, but again, my personal preference, which I hope ultimately he'll be able to achieve, is the First Amendment standard. But he's a lot more practical than I think people realize, and the First Amendment standard, it sounds something very easily publicly defensible when you put it that way, but then you say, okay, First Amendment standard means all legal speech. That means that probably the most banned people on the internet, like Andrew Anglin, has to go on Twitter. I'm for that because I'm for the First Amendment standard. But as a matter of practical reality, that's a hell of a lot of incoming that Elon would have right up front. And so what kind of principles can you pick that would cash out better, at least in this initial stage, than what he's already done?
Don't say you believe in free speech when you don't.
If the assumption is that perhaps he's playing a game of 4D chess, 3D chess, and then he should not have addressed the issue at all. Because if your argument is he has to play the game, that means he's virtue signaling. Right? I don't care for virtue signaling. I don't care for being lied to, and I don't care for petty. I don't care. I shouldn't say it that way, but I don't care for personalized arguments as to why certain people are below the standards.
I agree. I think he shouldn't have gone there and said, oh, use the kid thing. That was unfortunate and crossed the line, and
he clearly doesn't know anything about it. Sorry to interrupt.
No, right. No, I agree. No, I'm totally with you there. I want the First Amendment standard. I'm just trying to put myself in Elon's shoes, and I'm thinking, as much as we want a kind of neutral, principled standard, such that we can say, well, if you do this, what about this? Which is, how fairness operates. But in terms of the result, the kind of consequentialist view of it is that he can actually probably maximize free speech more if he does virtue signal a little bit, at least in these early stages.
There was something infuriating about Jack Dorsey and Vijaya Gadde lying to your face when you were like, hey, why was this person banned and why wasn't this person? When you'd say something like, hey, look, here's an Antifa account advocating for, instructing violence. And they go, oh, well, it's a mistake. And then they still won't take it down. When they tell you, we're working on it, there will be a path to redemption, I hear what you're saying, we're going to try and fix it. It's frustrating because you know they're lying to you. It's even worse when it's a billionaire who just says, too bad. Like, it's one thing to be like, I can hold on to that 1% hope that Jack Dorsey means it. when he says, we're going to find a way to get people back on the platform. We got to figure out how to do it. It's another thing when Elon Musk is like, I bought it, it's mine, too bad, there's no rules. I can do whatever I want.
And if we can't trust him on this, what makes you think we can't trust him on other issues as well? This brings a lot of doubt and speculation because he's acting on emotion rather than morals and virtues. Rather than saying, hey, I believe in free speech, that means speech for people I despise, he says, no, I don't like him. But Elon, have you heard of a thing called Epstein's Island? There's a former president there that used to attend it, Bill Clinton. He's also on your platform right now. If you care about children and children being hurt now, you would be going after him, but he's not. And having this kind of made-up scenario where you say he's okay, but he's not good, based off your own emotional trauma, is not something that gives me a lot of hope in this platform moving forward.
Do we all agree that the First Amendment should be the ultimate standard?
Free speech?
No, I disagree.
You disagree?
I think even higher.
For Twitter, I disagree. And on one issue, doxing.
Okay.
There's probably the First Amendment doesn't cover criminal acts. There's challenges to whether or not something can be deemed criminal if it's speech. So
First Amendment minus doxing.
Not necessarily. So listen. Some people are free speech absolutists. They believe that words can never be criminal no matter what you said. That means literally they think incitement to violence and instruction on how to do horrible things. And there's an interesting point there. If we argue that there is criminal speech in any capacity, we're arguing Congress can pass a statutory law criminalizing speech. That makes no sense, right? So the Supreme Court upholds basically that if you incite violence, that is not protected by the First Amendment. Now my question is, I understand that. I understand the arguments. But how does that make sense? Congress isn't making the law. The Supreme Court just said, as we interpret what the First Amendment is supposed to mean, we've carved out an exception. Now, the Founding Fathers didn't carve out an exception. So there's an interesting argument there, because if we do agree that incitement to violence is criminal and not free speech, what happens if Congress or the Supreme Court, what happens if the Supreme Court, for instance, rules that actually hate speech is incitement because of stochastic terrorism? Are we going to continue to allow the courts to decide that there are larger and larger limits to speech? So I don't know that
So you're saying the First Amendment standard is not good enough because it's subject to future kind of modifications from the Supreme Court's sort of interpretive development?
Because the First Amendment could be argued to mean you can incite to violence. And so there's limits beyond. So my point is this. In the future, the Supreme Court may rule that doxing someone is not free expression. It's actually an attack against or something. It's a violation of someone's privacy and thus criminal. It would be interesting if Congress ruled that posting someone's private information, this may be a court that has a case that has to be adjudicated, actually. If Congress tries passing a law saying posting someone's private home details or private information, phone number, contact, etc., without their permission constitutes a crime, the Supreme Court is going to have to determine whether or not that violates free speech, because posting someone's address doesn't really express your political opinion or views. And that's an argument some people make about what free speech is. Anyway, I don't want to make it overly complicated. The First Amendment is an easy thing to say, but we really do need bullet point breakdown of what is okay and what isn't. Gab, for instance, I believe bans doxing.
Okay.
And that's free speech. You could walk around with a big old sign with someone's address on it. But on Gab, you can't do that. I agree. I don't think you should be allowed to post someone's private details. I don't think there should be permanent bans for these things, however, because, I argued this to Jack Dorsey. There are people who commit murder, and they get out in 25 years.
Sure.
There's a guy who posted a nasty meme, and you've permanently removed his ability to speak in the public square.
There's no redemption.
Right.
According to the theology of cancellation.
I just want to point out the Clinton Global Initiative is on Twitter.
Yeah, there's a lot of war criminals and monsters. There's terrorist organizations that were on there openly using the platform without any kind of problems. When Twitter a couple years ago was looking at, of course, right-wing talking points that they needed to censor and take down. So it's crazy because this is a very important issue, and we can't underplay it. Because yes, we got to celebrate our victories. Elon did incredible things on banning a lot of important people that were punished for their political speech, but if you're going to continue the punishment based on your own kind of made-up standards, that's something that doesn't give me hope. That's something that I think a lot of people should be skeptical of, and I think that's something that a lot of people should be criticizing him on, because obviously it doesn't stand with any kind of virtue.
Let's pull up this tweet here. Now, I'm not sure if this is confirmed, and I don't know. But you guys have probably seen it all over the place. This is from Stubbs on Mastodon. He says, "What's it with people reporting every single person they don't like? Please stop with that. This is not Twitter. Please use features like mute or block if you don't like people, but stop reporting. Otherwise, I'll start banning people who keep reporting for nothing. I'm trying to keep things running with so many new people, and it's such a waste of time to hear whatever you don't like. Otherwise, go waste Elon's time, not mine." Elon Musk tweeted, "Please, wall monitors, go on someone else's platform."
Leave me be.
It was Nate Silver who said that he thinks Mastodon is a honeypot for the hall monitor types. All of these people on Twitter who report everything and won't shut up are leaving and going to Mastodon, and all Spider-Man meme pointing at each other, and we're all having a good time over it. It's like there's a party going on, and they left. So, I'll take it.
Absolutely. How many employees have been slashed so far at Twitter? Are there
I think
enough
a couple thousand,
to
90%.
the point where, like, they don't have as many moderators? Then
No moderators.
None left?
I'm pretty sure their moderation team's gone.
They've got to have some people.
I think it...
Because they've now streamlined the process for reporting materials, which I have been waiting for them to do for so long because they made it unnecessarily difficult. You have to go through on the desktop version and go through a longer process to do that. So they streamlined that process. They have to have a good moderation team to keep up with that. And there's been I've seen reports that they're doing a crackdown on child exploitation on the platform.
He's number one priority, so.
But you can't do that without moderators. And
That's true, good point.
I mean, before, the moderators were just, acting like demagogues about, not... if you were having a conversation with someone and you weren't being academic enough in your language, then you would get banned, pretty much.
Right, that's how it is. There's also...
You're just at the mercy of, any random individual that comes across this.
Let me say real quick. Since the beginning of the election month, or whatever, October, and then we're getting into November, all of my videos pertaining to election issues have been demonetized for fake reasons. And it costs a lot of money. It really does. Getting when I cut down the amount of videos I do. I went from what was I doing, 6 to 3. Having one, it's bad. It's a lot of money. Yeah. And what happens is I'll get the yellow $sign, and then I'll request review, which takes a day. You get all the views in your day, then you get no money. If it is confirmed, the next day it'll say, confirmed demonetized by manual review, and it will say harmful or dangerous activity. And it's me reading a poll and being like, the polls are in, and they say...
So we have the ending of The Walking Dead. Sorta, but not really, and of course we need to talk about the ending scene in which Rick Grimes, that's right, the man himself, returns to our screens. Finally! There's a lot to break down in the scene, so in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be going over the scene, what it means for the Rick and Michonne show in 2023, and at the end, I'm even going to show you my reaction to the scene in which Rick returns, where a lot of you are going to see my face for probably the first time. So stick around for that, but let's talk Rick Grimes and Michonne's glorious return to The Walking Dead. We start with the scene with Rick and Michonne sitting by a fire, both of them writing something down, while Rick gives a speech about how much he misses the living and those we have lost. Michonne is writing something that they're connected, and they're connected to their own people that they've lost. At the end of their speeches, Rick and Michonne naked to the fire, straight on to the camera. Now, is this separate fires or the same fire? I want to talk about that more. The scene is really set up as a send-off to all of the characters of The Walking Dead, and it's a very nice scene, and I was partially wondering if this is all it's going to be seeing Rick and Michonne, but thankfully we got another scene, and this is the big one. Michonne sits writing yet another letter, and she's decked out in a cool new uniform she got from Wakanda, presumably from Travelers with our Socrates in Season 10. She holds the stone that she got also from her last episode and looks at Rick's boot. barefoot and also writing something down. He too has his phone in his boots and back. He puts everything inside the bag, takes the letter he was writing and puts it in a bottle. Now, this letter, there's a few words and phrases you can make out of it, but nothing too revealing like a location or even a person he's writing to. Michonne gets on her horse and rides while Rick goes down to the water and throws the bottle as far as he can. He then throws the bag into the nearby boat. He is back that Michonne is back on. Regardless, the boat is Island, which is Myrtle's Island in season 10. That means that Myrtle just disappeared and never saw it again. That's right. But then Rick gets spotted by a CRM helicopter, in which the announcer tells him on 16 run. Now, I might consider myself pretty scholarly, but that's a word I've never heard before. A lot of help either considering when you type the word into Google or asking what it means in reference to Rick. Twice. So putting my detective monocle on, I've learned that a consignee is a recipient of goods being shipped. So what does this mean in accordance to Rick? The honest answer is we don't know just yet, but his outfit just might give us a clue. He's wearing a CRM jacket, which is the same jacket that Silas Plaskett wore in The Walking Dead World Beyond, where Silas joined the CRM. Silas wore this jacket and had this exact same weapon at a Civic Republic coal facility, so it would make sense that Rick was being held at another coal facility and escaped. So his title of consignee could mean that he's working at the coal facility and he's in charge of shipments, perhaps even shipments of people, since we know that the CRM likes to take people away in helicopters. He's told to surrender, so he does, but the announcer says, "Come on, Rick, it's like he told you there's no escape for the living." So the big question becomes, who is the he that the announcer is talking about? And the announcer clearly knows Rick as well, as he called him by his first name. We flash to Michonne, who storms headstrong into a horde of like 8,000 walkers for some reason, as Rick surrenders and the helicopter lowers, Rick smiling as it does so. We also get a glimpse of where Rick is, a city that looks very similar to a broken down version of Philadelphia. So overall, this was a pretty great scene. Words cannot even describe how excited I was to see Rick again. You'll see that in a little bit, but there's still a lot to digest about this scene. I want to go back to what I was talking about with the fire, and how it was still purposefully ambiguous because Rick and Michonne could be there next to each other, hence why they both look into the fire, but then in the next scene they aren't. So I need to talk about the timeline in this scene, because before I watched the scene over about 20 times, it was kind of confusing. Both Rick and Michonne are in possession of the phone and boots, but Rick was clearly in possession of it first.
There is
So
one
the scene with Rick
unavoidable
must
truth
take
you
place
will
a few
never
months or so
escape.
after we last saw him when he got charted
You
off in the
cannot
helicopter in
change.
season 9. We know it has to be at
You
least a few
will
months, maybe
always
even a
be
year due to the recovery
a
process, and
monster.
Rick, of course, having his glorious, luscious locks back on his head. But Michonne's scenes must take place at the very least a few days, if not weeks, months after we last saw her, given that she has new armor and now she's out of distance from walking to talk to Judith. So this fire scene could have been the night before both of these scenes happened and they're separate, or it could be sometime in the future when they're reunited. While this scene answers the two part question, it explains it more than anything else. We know that Rick is the one who has the phone, but he doesn't answer it to Judith or Carl in particular. We don't know if Rick knew this himself. If he did, how did he all of a sudden know how to write Japanese? These are questions we already have, but this question came in the form of a message involved. What does this message actually say? Who is it for, and why did he throw it in the water for seemingly anyone, the CRM included, to find? Who is the he that the announcer was talking to? And of course, where are the people Michonne found, and how did she get this armor? I'm assuming these are all questions that the Rick and Michonne show will answer, but until then, it's just going to be our time for theories and speculation. Now, if you want to see how happy I was to see Rick, here you go. Alright, here we go. If you're watching this, something really good is about to happen. Here we go. Oh my god! I've seen her for 3 years. This scene, I think, was exactly what it needed. It gave us a good glimpse at answers to the questions that are left. I'm excited to see the continuation of it. I've been saying for a long time that it's tough to explain why Rick has been off for so long, and it's kind of how they explain it to Rick and Michonne. I think this scene showing Rick's attempt to escape is a really strong one. Showing us that he's actively trying to escape to find his family is totally in line with his character and exactly what I wanted to see. I can't wait to learn more about it. Be on the lookout for my episode review of the series finale, and if you're not already, we have a lot of great conversations about the movie and of course this series in particular. Each one of those viewers there last night, we are, I want to say thank you for having us on. Really great time, and you guys helping me out making this video. And let me know your thoughts on Rick's return in the comments below, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next
Watch out! Yes, those blades will serve quite well. I believe I see a door to the realm between realms over there, in your own front yard, no less. Take the shortcut back to the realm travel temple, then on to Helheim, yeah?
You wanted her. You fixed her. She's in there because of you. Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the Walking Dead video. So in this video, I do want to talk about the Rick and Michonne scene. We actually have a lot more details. We got a lot more like photos, I guess, and a lot more like looks at the actual thing. And we got a lot more details regarding how everything was done, when it was filmed, how it was filmed, and just some of the process of it going into actually getting a scene like that done. So I want to talk about all that here. And I actually want to talk about some implications from this scene on what is actually likely going to be happening in the Rick and Michonne series. And I'm very hyped because there's actually a lot of details there. And when you read a lot of the interview by Gimple and stuff, Gimple's actually giving some really awesome details on this scene here. And it was just really incredible, honestly. So yeah, anyway, before moving further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get more Walking Dead content like this. Now, we did actually get some more photos here that I do want to talk about. And we'll actually, I guess we'll go through this really quick here. There is a shot here of Michonne. Really incredible shot here of her. Her armor is actually going to be explained in the show. That was the one thing that they asked about. Like, well, why is she wearing, like, this armor almost, right? Like, she has a different type of outfit on. Like, where did she get this? What's the story behind this? And they said, like, Gimple, I think it was Gimple anyway, said that that will be explored in the spinoff. Like, that will actually be explored there. There's a huge story there. So I'm very excited for it, honestly. There's actually quite a bit of stuff to this here that I do think the Rick and Michonne show should get more than one season, definitely, for sure. I do think it's going to be a one-season thing for now. They're working on something here in order to reunite these characters. But based off of what I'm seeing here, these characters aren't reuniting after a couple of episodes. I think this show here is going to be really focused on that journey of them trying to find each other, getting very close. You know, like Rick right now doesn't know that Michonne's looking for him, so I think that could be something he finds out in episode 3 or 4, right? Like he finds out, oh, Michonne's here. Michonne's looking for me, right? And I think there's going to be a lot of stuff like that. So I do think that this show, it's going to be really incredible to see that reunion, that fight for them to find each other, you know? And then we'll have to see where they go after that. But I definitely think there's going to be more than one season because of the story here with Pacific Republic. And there's a lot of little details here. About the Gimple and all that. There's a pretty big story here. There's honestly, there's quite a bit here. So I think if you're a Walking Dead fan, I would be pretty excited. The Walking Dead's over, and you can feel sad about that. But we're, like I said, we are now officially in the era where Rick is so in need of everything, right? Like, we do have the Daryl spinoff and the Maggie and Negan spinoff. But like, to have Rick as the center again, you know, to be focused on that character again, like we always did. It's exciting, honestly. That scene was just amazing to actually have some Rick Grimes footage. Like, that was so cool. We have another shot here of Michonne, which is just like actually in the phone stuff. I really like the fact that her katana just like stands up like that. I think that's really cool. We then have another shot of Michonne here in that armor, and she actually has a helmet to go with her armor here. Again, there's a whole story here. There's a lot that I'm not understanding in terms of just where this group is and just what exactly this is all about here, and it looks like they're actually going to be fleshing the story out quite a bit. Like, it's going to matter in the end, so I'm very hyped for that. But yeah, really incredible shot. And then we have the shot here of Rick, and this is when he's getting ready to throw the bottle in the water, and obviously he's confident in the Republic here. I will say that the really incredible thing about a lot of the Rick story here is that he has tried to get back. This might not be the first time either. He might have been trying for a while, honestly. Like, it's very possible that Rick's been trying really, really hard to get back. And that is one of the things that I'm really wondering, you know, in the Rick and Michonne TV series, like, how much are we going to see of Rick trying to escape beforehand? Because we did get a scene like this. I don't know how much more we really need of Rick sort of in the past, but I think seeing Rick, you know, arrive there and getting some stuff like that, I do think is very important. I think seeing him arrive to the Civic Republic, seeing what Jadis initially did, sort of like, you know, giving him the Civic Republic, and then she gets this sort of life or whatever, right? Because Jadis will be a part of that series. So I think seeing that is definitely very important. You want to see when a moment like that goes down, just from a story perspective, because a lot of us obviously assume that there's a lot of people that don't really know a lot of what's happening and might get confused by that. So to start the show off like that, I think is definitely really, really important. And yeah, I find it really awesome the fact that, you know, Rick actually escaped. Like, he actually did get away. We have a shot here of Rick, obviously, when he's holding the green bottle. This is just before he throws it into the water. And yeah, just a really incredible shot. I love the fact that he has that jacket on. It's just, honestly, it's a really cool jacket. Then we have this shot here of Michonne. These shots here are really incredible. There's a shot of Michonne and there's a shot of Rick like this as well with the fire and stuff. I really like these shots. That, like, just visually with the fire and stuff like that, honestly, just really incredible. We then have two last shots here of Rick, and this is just when, yeah, I think at this point he noticed that he was actually caught and he's going to be going back, and I think, yeah, he's just pretty upset about it. And it is really intense, you know, the situation that Rick is actually in. And I just, man, I'm so excited for this. I've been seeing a lot of people saying to me that, like, they're very, very hyped for that Rick spinoff and just the spinoffs in general. Like, I guess a lot of people, you know, as much as we were excited for the finale, there might have been a lot of people that just weren't excited about the story of the Commonwealth, right? There was a lot of that Rick stuff. When we saw Rick here at the very end, it was just like this crazy hype that came out of nowhere, right? People were so excited for the story again, and that's Rick Grimes, honestly. That really is. And it's not just Rick Grimes, it is Michonne. It's all of that there. It's just the excitement of those characters coming back and the story being that exciting, right? Because the Commonwealth arc, it was fun. I did enjoy it, but it definitely wasn't something that was interesting and you know, I guess really entertaining, because it wasn't in the comic. In the comic, it was really boring. It definitely was a little more entertaining on the show, but, you know, they could only really do so much with just what they did there with that arc. But we did get some new details regarding, you know, how they filmed the scene here for the finale. And they filmed it over 2 days in early August. So if you remember, a lot of people were talking about, I think Andy Lincoln News said that, you know, Andrew Lincoln was going to be going to Atlanta or something like that for a week. Well, it looks like, you know, when they went there or whatever, that they sort of worked everything out. This was like obviously after Comic-Con, after they announced that the show was coming and stuff. And so, yeah, they filmed it there over 2 days. Yeah, it's really incredible stuff. It also seems like Andy and Denai, their involvement here, they did want to come back for the finale. It seems like they really wanted to come back for the finale, but they also didn't want a large part because they didn't want to overshadow the current cast and what the characters are doing in the story and all that on the show. Just because it just wouldn't feel right. Like, definitely if Rick came in to save the day, that was the example I actually used. They were using the article here by EW. I've only looked at the article. But to have Rick and Michonne come in just to save the day sort of thing, it took away so much of the current story, and they didn't want to be doing that. You know, they wanted to be a part of it in a way that celebrates The Walking Dead. And I guess still just has that intrigue there and you know, really sets up that story for the characters and whatnot in the spin-off. And it was just really important to sort of keep things as is, you know, going into that spin-off and whatnot, but also being a part of it in a way that doesn't take away from anything. And, like, I definitely think having them return to Alexandria or be a part of the story anyway was just too much. I think from a story perspective, it never made any sense, and that's why I've been saying that for months now. Like, I've been saying, there's no way Rick and Michonne are just going to come back in the finale to save the day, to save the Commonwealth and whatnot, because it just makes no sense to spin off from something they have to do there. It would just be
so random and out of place, and I just really didn't believe it was going to happen, and I'm happy with what we got.
Let me take this moment to tell you that what you're about to do is
I think that is the perfect tease for the future. It really is. Honestly, it's the perfect tease for what to expect in that show. T-Walking Steve's World on Twitter actually picked up on this.
No, we're still in the realm travel bridge. We're after the bridge of the dam. The dead use it to cross into their permanent home, the city of Helheim. The bridgekeeper who minds admission. He's the one we want. Just follow this bridge. Should lead us there. You okay, brother?
This was the experience of traveling with 18 chase sapphires.
And he put his jacket, obviously, and that's silly. Like he was there working or whatever. And this place, I think, is a place that you're just sent to do stuff like that. So I imagine that's where Rick was sent to. He was sent to this place to work and I guess just sort of do that before, I guess, the next stage of work. Like, a lot of people don't listen. A lot of people even mentions the word in here. Like, he even mentions that Rick is very defiant. Michonne's defiant. You know, the Grimes family is very defiant, and obviously being in a situation like that where he's forced to do that, of course he's going to try to escape. Rick is going to try to escape. And I think that's the one thing of that first episode, and not even just the first episode, but I think the first season is really going to focus on, and that is the CRM trying to convince Rick to stay here and be a part of this. And I don't think he's going to want to. He's fighting back so hard, and that's just going to be one of those things that I think is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Gipple actually talked about this scene quite a bit here. He did explain the style at the end, like I said, like it was just Rick being defiant. Like it was just something that Bill showed that he'll never give up. And like after all of this, after everything that Rick's been through here, he's still smiling because he knows this is public. There's something he can deal with. Like he just has that confidence there, right? We also know the location that Rick's in is actually in Philadelphia.
Jesus Christ, stop!
Extremely exciting because it's really close to New York. It's really close to a lot of the places that we're actually in. So it's going to be really interesting to see how certain parts of the story play out here in terms of their location. Because if the show is going to be based in Philadelphia, I mean, you've got to kind of think about the fact that
what the actual fuck?
Going there, she's actually trying to find Rick, and Maggie and Negan are going to be going to New Jersey, right? So they're in a very similar place. They're in a very, very similar location. I do wonder if, like, those characters at some point are probably going to be meeting up like, sooner, if anything, more than, like, say, Rick, Michonne, and Daryl and whatnot. What I really loved about all this was the fact that this ending was basically planned from the beginning. Like, the second that they started to work on this series finale here, or whatever they had the plans for the ending here, it was basically like Rick and Michonne need to be a part of it. Like, it was just like, that's just what's going to happen. The ending to the show is not going to be great if they're not in it. Like, it's just not going to be exciting and whatnot. And so they had to work on a way that they could actually do it where, you know, it actually made a lot of sense.
No, we're still in the realm travel bridge. We're after the bridge of the dam. The dead use it to cross into their permanent home, the city of Helheim. The bridgekeeper reminds admission. He's the one we want. Just follow this bridge.
I imagine a lot more details about the scene and some other stuff we don't know. All he was talking about, there's going to be some stuff in here that people theorize on a lot of stuff, right? But yeah, I mean, expect some more details and stuff coming out. I'm guessing for sure there's a lot more details coming out about the show in January, definitely early January. There might be some stuff in December though, like especially in the next week or two, there's probably some details coming out regarding some of this stuff here. But yeah, I'm hyped. I can't wait for the Rick and Michonne television show. I can't wait to see more stuff. We actually did get our first look at the downside office. We got a little bit of a teaser as well for the Walking Dead City. So I'll break that down. We'll talk about that in separate videos and whatnot. I'll get into some of the details.
Use the fire of your blades to burn away that hell's branded blocking the path.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Definitely talking about
many reasons we went back to those blades.
I'll see you guys in the next one.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Try back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing my final review for AMC's original, The Walking Dead television series, because this is now for the series finale, Season 11, Episode 24, Rest in Peace. Alright dudes, so spoiler warning if you have not seen the final episode of the Walking Dead television series as of yet. So tonight is the ninth day of today we finally see the anticipated series finale for the Walking Dead television series. So, man, what an amazing episode, I want to say. Pretty much a perfect ending for what you want to see, I think, for The Walking Dead. This expanded episode, like an episode and a half, or almost 2 episodes. It's super fast-paced, it's exciting, tons of character, and we do get sort of a mini time skip, and then finally, like I said before, we get to see, as I mentioned, the return of Michelle and Rick. Now,
only the newly dead should be here. There's too many. The gate must be closed, and if the gate's closed, then it's true. Hell's full up. Without the Valkyrie to sort and kill them, hell is overwhelmed.
Rick is unfortunately joined the CRM. He's been trying to escape, but it looks like so far he's not been able to. He's got kind of like a CRM jacket on, so this is like CRM Rick.
What?
And, yeah, this is such an incredible episode. So, with these last 8 episodes of season 11, part 3, the 24 episode extended season, I was a little bit not sure recently about the pacing as we're seeing these episodes finish off and seeing things come through a finale here. But after watching this one through, I can say that I'm very happy. They could have extended these 8 episodes out and pretty much did them to be a 16-episode final season if they really wanted to. But the way it works out after seeing it is basically they just took out any possible filler. There's pretty much no filler in the last 8 episodes. It's just going through the comic book storyline for Rest in Peace, getting to see the finish up to the original comic storyline, and then a short setup near the end there for the spin-off series that we're going to see what's happen. So this is a great ending episode for The Walking Dead. This basically ties up, I think, most of the loose ends, or almost all of them in the series. It gives us an awesome climactic finale for the Commonwealth with Pamela, with everybody else, Mercer, the Gate, those who were injured in the battles, and kind of a climax of the civil unrest in the Commonwealth. Everything that's been going on there with Pamela, the regime. We even get to see Zombie Atlanta show up in another awesome scene as well, which is really cool. And then it gives us a nice sort of mini time skip, happy ending, so post happy ending type of thing after getting to see things play out. And then after that, we get to see the survivors kind of go their separate ways, maybe them settle into kind of their new life at the Commonwealth. Each of them has respective positions, respective jobs. Like Ezekiel, for example, who is the new leader, the new governor of the Commonwealth, which I thought was an awesome ending for him and made absolutely perfect sense to see him in that role. And then to see kind of Daryl and everybody else sort of go off their separate ways with ending off with the final scene, getting to find out that Rick is still alive, which is kind of new, but finally getting to see Rick again since it's been like 4.5 years or so since he left. Near the beginning there of The Walking Dead Season 9. So very happy with this finale episode to see how they were able to wrap everything up here. I'm very impressed with how much they were able to. It's an extended episode, but it's absolutely jam-packed. We did get to see a few kind of major character deaths in this one, the biggest of which being Rosita for sure. Being her final episode, I guess. Kind of had wondered why
what they're going to be doing with the spin-off series. But the sad, very, very, very sad scenes for what's involved with Rosita. I guess the spoilers.
When we killed the Reavers near my home, they came here.
We also have
How did they return so quickly?
Time doesn't move the same between all realms, especially where the spirit world is concerned.
Like the light of Alfheim.
The opposite, in fact. The Lake of Souls feels faster than Alfheim time, but Hell is much slower than Midgard. Sorry, I'm sure that's confusing.
We will be back to my son all the sooner. That is good.
Ah,
and
you a quick study.
Characters survive, because if they want to use them in any of the spin-off series in the future, even years down the road, they'll have the option to do that. I'm kind of surprised they went through with Rosita being killed off, but at the same time, it is The Walking Dead, so probably want to have major character death at the end. You know, not everybody's going to be in the spin-off series. They have to be characters for Walking Dead, but based on the way things have been going, it kind of sounds like she will probably not be a character in any of the spin-off series. So those are sad scenes to play through. I did skip through a little bit of them with Rosita and the others finding out. But so sad. I don't want to get too sad, because I'm already sad enough for Walking Dead ending, but at least survived the last episode, so that's awesome. And it just kind of goes along with the series ending. So it feels like it's sort of like a character of Walking Dead original series ending overall. So scene by scene review, we're breaking this down, give our thoughts. Daryl and Judith, Daryl kind of going into kind of fights off the guards and goes like and then but are able to we have the intro and then get we mentioned it's pretty brutal, especially you get kind of a style by you have half the others have gone to like a gated community and kind of closed themselves off, while the other people in the Commonwealth sort of get kind of stuck with all the water inside. You have Carol and Daryl, they're kind of waiting in that position. Like back in the glass of rock, really cool. Something like that. Really sweet. You know, kind of use that again, have that. I think, you know, really added a lot to making it that exciting. You have other things that try and make it better. We get the scene with Rosita, where at some point here, she must have been totally, I suppose, to be safe, but she kind of goes up on one of the vehicles there, like, and
Valhalla is part of Asgard. Only the worthy dead go there, the warriors who die in glorious combat. Hell is for those who die in dishonor. Aye, and those dead of disease, mishap, age.
It is dishonorable to grow old.
A good way to do it.
Well,
they did like a
never
double
too late to go out
so
fighting, I suppose.
It seems like she falls down and she's going to be devoured by the zombies there, like Jules is, just the same way, with the baby at the front too, which makes it even worse because it's double. But then she fights her way out, so it seems like, you know, okay, oh no, she's gonna, so it's a fake out death, right? And she gets up there, she jumps across, and then they swerve us again, because then it reveals after that maybe when she fell the first time, or at some point in the scuffle, she does get bitten by one of the walkers there at some point. So it's not just a fake out, it's a double.
That climb there could lead us out. We can reach it.
Right? It's okay. So what's the logic here? So does she survive? No, she falls. But then that was a fake out, so she does survive. But then no, she doesn't. Again, we swerved again. Double swerve because double fake out, double swerve because she got bitten as part of it. But we didn't see it until after. So it was exciting, that's for sure. And you know, they kind of outsmart me, because then I'm watching halfway through and I'm like, oh, I knew it. She does survive. I knew it. And then it reveals after, no, you're wrong, Charlie. We got you. We got you, dude. We got you. So So it was cool, but the scenes are really exciting and everything. It was great. It is the ending episode, so you kind of have to expect to see stuff like that. We've got Aaron and Lydia kind of reuniting. Negan is going to attempt to assassinate Pamela with the rifle. Maggie is going to go with him. They're going to do it together, and they end up later on not even having to do that. And Maggie instead takes a shot to kill Lance, so that Pamela does not suicide herself. So Pamela, not the strongest villain The Walking Dead has ever seen. She can't even kill herself properly without somebody stopping her from doing it. So she gets by the end, she's totally, weak and incapable of following through with anything. That's what I'm gonna say. So that's what it is. Pretty good shot with the rifle. Zombie Lance is awesome though, because you see the arrows, you see him chomping at the gate and everything, and it's freaking really sweet. We got Ezekiel and Mercer. So they kind of team up, and later on Ezekiel becomes the new governor, and Mercer has to log the in this one. We also get Daryl. So Daryl gets kind of the epic Walking Dead statement from the comics that Rick says. In this one, we're not the Walking Dead. So he kind of gets to adapt that for the TV series, and it's really great because in a lot of ways Daryl is sort of like the Daryl is sort of like the surviving Rick in the show up until this point when Rick actually Aaron a little bit too. They kind of maybe share the role or something. With Ezekiel, having other stuff too that maybe in the comics would have been given to Maggie or something like that. So they do a good job of using that. I like the line; it was good with Daryl and everything, and getting to see at the end Daryl as he rides off into the kind of these some of these scenes at the end are epic. It's like almost like a Walking Dead movie. You get to see him ride off. You get to see the environment, some awesome environment shots. We get to see him ride by, I think it's a zombie Greg Nicotero, although I could be wrong, but it looks just like him as a zombie version, which I think is a nice Easter egg at the end there for him, really cool. And, so anyway, you're right, there's a theme song, which is like the CM Punk theme song, Calls for Personality, I think it's called. And I thought they might go out with some kind of a boom, so they have like this, there's all these walkers everywhere, the place is flooded, so they decided to blow it up, which makes sense. Blowing up Pamela's house as well too in the gated community, so sort of like blowing up the elite section of the compound, which is pretty cool. And it's it's like a Walking Dead Michael Bay explosion, just giant explosion, which is really cool. And I enjoyed it. So that was cool. It's one of the best explosions, probably the best. It makes you think of like Carol with No Sanctuary or something like that, but even better. So it goes out with a bang, that's for sure. Really great stuff. Negan and Maggie have some good dialogue, which is in the end, Maggie can still not forgive Negan, and probably never will be able to, but it seems like he is kind of, indefinitely going to attempt to get her to forgive him, but it will never work, right? She never will. And so he's kind of cast out outside, but he gets a nod from Daryl when they're eating dinner afterwards, celebrating. But he doesn't get a spot at the table with him, which makes sense because you wouldn't think he would get one. So memories and stuff. Happy dinner. This part is I think Landslide's playing this part. This part's the saddest for me to see it ending because it's like we're so used to seeing each year. Now, granted, we had like the shutdown years and stuff, but since 2010, Walking Dead's been on every fall, every winter time, except for the switches the last few years, right? But since 2010, it's been on every fall, every winter. We get to see it really awesome off during the summer, and we get to see Fear or something else if you're interested. It's going to be sad to not have that there, but at the same time, the spin-off series give us enough to look forward to. But at the same time, it is still really, really sad, the parts with Rosita there and everything. And happy for Ezekiel, which is cool for him because it just feels like he'd be perfect for that at the Commonwealth. Connie and Daryl, Lydia, and Elijah and some of the others. And then we have Judith with Negan gives her is it a compass he gives her, something like this. And then you get the happy ending. Now, they don't do Like in the comics, they have this future time skip where they go way into the future, and you get to see Carl as an adult. I thought they might try to adapt that with Judith, but I'm really, really happy they did it, because when I was looking at it, I was like, does a 20-year time skip for Judith make sense? Like, does that make sense for the TV series version? It doesn't feel like it fits with the TV series. And so, luckily, they didn't do it. So they actually, in the end of The Walking Dead, they haven't really adapted all of the comics, even in this last episode, because in the comics, you get to see Carl in the future, which would be like a grown-up Judith. And they don't really, like way in the future, like many, many years down the line, they don't really do that. They kind of do it with a skip where it involves everybody celebrating like that, post the battle and post everything like that, and the group kind of splitting off with Daryl leaving and the other stuff happening. So I liked the ending for the TV series much better than the comic ending. The comic ending I felt like was just okay. It wasn't this good. This is much better, and you get to see Rick return and everything these last scenes to show him too. And it's just awesome. So can't wait to see what's going on with CRM Jeff or Rick or whatever his position is there in CRM as he's trying to escape. And we have, let's see, so we have all that, and I think that's pretty much it. We get to the Carol and Daryl. They tell each other they love each other, which is great. Kind of set part ways, so that's that. And
those dead of disease.
Michonne and Rick to finish things off. CRM calls Rick to surrender, and no escape for the living.
Never too late to go fighting, I suppose.
CRM Rick to kind of finish things off, and that's it, dude. So it's an amazing episode. It's one of the best Walking Dead episodes ever for certain. I was concerned that maybe the finale wouldn't be that good, but it is. I'm going to give it a perfect 10 out of 10. I think it exceeded even 11 out of 10. I don't do that above perfect. Like it's perfect and then some. Yeah, like 11 out of 10. I guess I don't do that. I just say 10 out of 10 because I don't think that makes sense. But I'm you get an exciting final battle for Commonwealth, even though maybe they could have taken a full year to do the Commonwealth stuff, that's 16 episodes. But if they did that, it probably wouldn't be as exciting and as pedal to the metal. And if you drag it out too much as well, you also risk losing some viewers, and it isn't as epic as if you do, in 8.5 episodes, 9 episodes, whatever you want to count. So I loved it, man. I loved it. I'm sad to see the original Walking Dead series go, but at the same time, it does have to end at some point. And so this is as good a time as any. If they would have kept it going for 4 years,
I don't expect it will. I don't suppose it will make things any worse either. It'll be one less obstacle for the living to reach the inner sanctum of Helheim.
Definitely,
Who'd be mad enough to
super
go
happy
there?
with how this turned out. It's a really sad, but yet happy, bittersweet ending to The Walking Dead. Explosions, an awesome finale battle for lots of zombies everywhere, an exciting finale battle. Cool times,
The Bridge of the Damned. And there's the Keeper, making sure the dead are really dead.
What is that he holds?
That totem contains a powerful source of magical energy, the very power of Helheim itself.
When you buy a Publix reusable bag,
Just take it like you
We're going to have a housing crash.
Start some trouble. You can do that, right?
Housing crash. People are wanting to. I got to get blood work done quickly. Like I was supposed to go to the doctor 3 days ago, but I never got the blood work done. So I canceled my appointment. I got to go get my blood work done. I need the blood work done because it's pointless to go pay for a doctor's visit when I don't have all this stuff to. No, I'm not afraid of the blood work results. I just don't leave the house, man. Like, mentally, I don't leave the house because I don't want to pay for gas. That's where I'm at. Lithium, and the fact is, the vast majority of the infrastructure of the vast majority of the United States is antique. We live in an area where there's hurricanes, and they're spending, hundreds of thousands of dollars every year to fix light poles and have shortage and outs, and they could run these things under the ground, but they don't do it because it costs millions of dollars to put these things underground, and it's something that needs to happen. The fact is, we have such an archaic system. Like electric cars wouldn't work on our current grid. Our entire electrical grid needs to be upgraded. But you have states like New York and California mandating electric cars by 2035, which is a travesty. Like, just imagine what New York's going to look like when you have somebody running a charger to their car that's parked on the street. You're going to have to walk over 15 battery cables every block, you know, like, because like big metropolises don't have the proper parking. If you go to Atlanta, which is the only metropolis that I've been to, if you go to like Atlanta, well, I've been to San Diego too and Los Angeles, but like I didn't really walk around, but I explored Atlanta a few times. Atlanta, like, parking's at a premium. Like, it's $40 to park places in Atlanta. Like, it's a fucking video game just to park your damn car. Just imagine where you're going to charge your EVs at. I do blood work simply because I had weight loss surgery. I have to do blood work every 3 or 4 months just to make sure that I'm not at a vitamin deficiency. Why don't I run for politics? Because honestly, I don't know how to fucking change it. There's a lot of people that are smarter than me, that are more invested than I am. Because I tried not to learn about this shit, and I still learn about it. No, weight loss surgery is not the same as this. I mean, I think it'd be cheaper just to outlaw fucking alcohol. It's funny because the Drake equation actually has a formula to determine if a society will survive technology. Yeah. I haven't ate shit. I haven't ate shit today.
The 7-Eleven bag.
Coke.
That was nice.
Oh, thanks for getting those.
Go to bed.
Night, baby.
Love you.
Love you too. When do I take down Halloween decorations when they fall off the wall? People can't handle bags. That recycling is pointless. Because it burns more energy to recycle something than it does to just make it again. And people said I was an idiot. Nuclear energy is not bad. Nuclear waste is, though. That's not true, though, at a large scale. I mean, like, it would scale the same way regardless if it's small or large. Like, look at it this way. Say you took this piece of paper right here. Right? You want to recycle this piece of paper. I'm going to go get my gas-powered truck to drive it to the recycling center. If I don't do that, say you put it in the recycling bin, a diesel truck is going to come pick it up, take it to the recycling center. They're going to put it in the recycling center. They're going to fire up a gas-powered or electric-powered machine that's powered by coal. They're going to shred it. They're going to wash it. They're going to put it into another machine that sorts it. And then after it's clean and everything, they're going to melt it down. And they're going to melt it down with huge fucking, pounds of electricity. And then they're going to take it and they're going to put it in another diesel truck, take it to another place. They're going to sell the auction paper at a discount to other people to make money. They're going to go to another diesel truck to go to that place. They put in another machine with coal powered. It's cheaper just to remake it than it is to recycle it. You can make things that are biodegradable. I quit buying like the stuff on Siege when I got married because like now standard deduction is worth more to me than anything I can write off. So there's no reason to buy things for write-offs anymore. Do I believe in global warming? Yes. Global warming is a fact. It's not something you believe in or not. That's like saying, do you believe in air? Do you believe you breathe oxygen? Or is that just a scientific theory? On some star, on some planet, on some humdrum star like we are in the same boat we're in. They're constrained to the same rules that we're constrained to. And the fact is, the distance is too great. What do you make of UFOs that Navy fighter positive encountered? Most of them are unrecognizable, and the fact that the very name UFOs stands for unidentified flying object doesn't mean aliens. Remember, people in the desert see oases. My French maid, we can dress up later.
You can be the French maid later. You notice that most speed trap towns are in Republican states. That's because that's one way to, like, get more tax money into the state without saying that, oh, you raise taxes. Blackout, hey, Wings, do you think about doing Reddit YouTube reaction with viewers donating you? I would love to react to videos, but I feel like it's a danger to my channel. That's why I don't do it. Cryptocurrency is for idiots. I've said this the entire time, and people told me I was an idiot. I mean, like, I want to go so far as say Boogie called me an idiot when I said that cryptocurrency is gambling. You know what my winning and loss to date on cryptocurrency is? $0. Crypto is an unregulated stock market. At least the stock market, you can make educational risk, right? You can make calculated risk. Like, you can look at a company, you can look at projections, you can look at things. There's all this information that goes out there for, like, the stock market. Crypto, dog, motherfuckers with like phase in their name is pimping out crypto. You blasting jingle chairs for weeks in holiday season, keep going. I don't know what the fuck jingle chairs is, but think of the $5, dude. I'm good, Amber Heard's turd. It's most likely some kind of racist music. What is GME? I gotta take a poop. I gotta poop real quick.
Fine mess.
I'm back. We had a $10 donation. Lie, do a wing. Look here, pimp. Why not make a side channel where you do live reaction? Keep your main. Won't have viewers. And it's not partnered, so you can be able to get donations. When you any chance you go on Keemstar show? 0. I can't make donations on Twitch either because I'm banned from Streamlabs and Stream Elements. Pick up the cannon, point at it. Well, the reason I don't look directly at the camera is because the chat's over here. The end result is I'm on the death rows of my streaming career to begin with. It's not going up, it's only going to go down. Everybody talks about a view boost. If I wanted a view boost, I'd play Modern Warfare 2. I average 700-800 viewers playing Modern Warfare 2. But I'm at a situation like reviews don't mean equal money to me. It just doesn't. Right? I won't, because the people that watch Modern Warfare 2 but don't watch, fucking God of War, they don't donate. They just sit there recording video and laughing. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Honestly, the things that help me the most are people making documentaries on me. That gets me out to new people that don't know me. Again, the reason I don't do in real live stream is people don't donate for them. I've done them. You gotta understand, like, I've been doing this for 8 years at this point. Streaming 100% full time. I know what does and does not work. Dude, I made $1,800 last year on ads. That's it. 365 days, $1,800. I averaged around, what is that on average? Like $3 a day or some shit like that. It's so little. Like, each stream makes like 75 cents to a little over $1 in ad revenue. Some days you'll make more. Some days, like, if I go 8 hours, I might make $5 worth of ad revenue off that stream. That's not pretty good. That's, to put that in perspective, my land insurance is $1,700. It pays one bill. Dude, people took half my fucking income. I didn't get to bounce back like Phil. I was making $70,000 a year, and I was happy. I was doing that, and I was making DoorDash and my side hustles. Every time I could get a sponsor, somebody fucked it up. The fact is, I've said so much vile shit on PKA back in the day that you could spin any kind of store you want to get a sponsor to run from me. So, like, it's pointless. Like, the reason I haven't created Cameo is because I'll just get banned off of it within a week. Because as soon as I start making money on Cameo, people will take all the shit I said on PKA and send it to them. I reap what I sow. Yeah, fuck me for trying to make people laugh a decade ago. Most of my Twitch life was under Trump. My money's about the same. Trump didn't do shit for me. He actually raised my taxes. I have my Twitch back. I still have my Twitch, but the problem is, remember when they were fucking with my YouTube and I went back to Twitch and I got banned 4 times in a week without doing anything? Weight doesn't automatically kill you, Teasdale. I know you're led to believe this, but I know a lot of fat men that live to their 80s. I know a lot of skinny people that died before their 50s. Dude, I say it all the time. When people are like, well, you should box Boogie. I'm like, dude, I'm like 15 years younger than Boogie. I would beat the brakes off that boy. Not only am I 15 years younger than Boogie, I've also done jobs that had required physical labor. I'm in much better shape than Boogie is, even if I weigh a little bit more than him right now. It took me $102 to make the Bucky's video between traveling and everything. If I did 20 Bucky's videos, I'd be in the negative thousands. It's called overhead. Do you think if you were to walk away from all this, work an overjob with no more internet presence, you could find more happiness? Out in the studio, quit worrying about happiness. I honestly do not care about happiness. I mean, I come off monotone because I'm doped up. Now, I'm on 150 milligrams of Effexor. I'm about to take right now. So it makes me monotone. But like, I don't live my life for happiness. I live my life to be responsible. Spartan 101. I'm probably not making no more videos, honestly. 1, I don't like making them. 2, the vast majority of the comments are negative. 3, it just gives people more video of me to make fun of me with.
No,
like, as long as I can keep my channel in the algorithm, I'm cool. It's just like I said, I had somebody show up my house the other day, and I made it clear that I only accept visitors if I know you're coming. Like, if you show up to my house randomly, I'm not opening the door. I used to do it, but I'm not anymore. The whole thing with Patreon is I'm not going to do any of the fucking Patreon goals, and then people would use that against me too. It's best not to have it. It was struggled for a while when I deleted all my videos because there was nothing to put in the algorithm, but like with community posts and things like that now, I actually have an algorithm presence. Yeah, because people were putting fake copyright strikes on my channel. I'm the #1 search for Wings of Redemption right now. There's my live stream. Right now I'm the top of the algorithm for Wings of Redemption. Yeah, do you have all the trolls and shit? Sure. But it's the same shit, man. I mean, that's the problem, though. I'm not really trying to entertain people. I'm trying to just make my life happen. There used to be a point where I was trying to entertain people. It ain't anymore, though. To Beast Games, I've had to explain to you multiple times why. If you ask again, I'm just going to ban you. And people say I ban people quickly. I'm just so tired of the same shit over and over and over again. Like I said before, 100 grand. You put 100 grand up, I'll get knocked out for it. Other than that, don't talk to me about boxing. I've gotten to the point where, like, playing games has gotten to the point where it's not really profitable. I don't learn so much about cards, but there's 2 things in my life that I enjoy. I enjoy cards, I enjoy baseball. Those are my passions. Well, Scott, I don't think you've ever donated, so your time is not worth much to me right now. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'm content right now. Like, I know I'm coming off as bitter and unhappy, but like I'm actually fucking thrilled that this stream we made the donation goal. Because honestly, 2 hours ago, I was miserable because like, fuck, 4 days in a row I didn't make any money. I know I'm not to talk about diet shit, but like, I seen this one thing where you can be miserable or you can be miserable. And like, and one of the people are in pain because they're working out and they're eating right and they're hungry, and the other person is sitting in a chair, you know, basically dying. You're gonna be miserable either way. Which way has a better outcome for you? No, what he's saying, your guys are missing the point. Like, to a fat person, walking and having your back hurt is fucking miserable, right? But you know what also is fucking miserable? Having your legs swell up and you losing your mobility. You're going to be miserable either way. Make the better choice. You don't brush your teeth because it's fucking fun. You brush your teeth because you don't want them to hurt and you don't want to lose them.
Now the heart, brother.
You know what else to Kurgan? Here's another wise saying. If you always expect the worst, you're never disappointed.
The hotel universe is quite complicated in terms of software and hardware. What we need is...
This is live. A whole body jams. Do you love like I do every day? Do you love like I do every day? Video face. Hey, Miss Wolf. Yeah, you have trouble sleeping, don't you? You're all the time late at night. Excuse me. I always wonder why they say bless you. I know when you sneeze, like technically your heart stops. So like you've been blessed that you continue to live. Is that can't be the whole reason, right?
I have the heart.
Nah,
I need nothing more.
I just got up from a nap.
Not to linger here, though, eh?
I'm tired as and sleepy. Do you have a sleep schedule?
Crazy.
Not really. Just automatically assume anytime I'm not here, I'm sleeping.
My father.
Your father was Zeus?
That's what I do for the most part. Look, my sleep schedule around right now.
Never go
So I want to
there.
go somewhere with Kelly this upcoming week. And I need to be awake during the day. So like when I got off streaming earlier, I went straight to bed and I slept for like 3.5 hours. And I got up and it's like, all right, well,
we should focus on
the whole house is asleep. And I deleted like God of War, so I was like, okay, well, God of War is not installed right now, so because I did that because I need to get myself away from playing it. And the fact is, like God of War, nobody shows up for it. So like, it's like whatever. Get out of playing God of War, get back into playing shooters. Because people want to see me get mad in multiplayer. That's what people show up for. They show up for that. They show up for my extreme left-wing takes.
Come on.
Because some reason people want to see me bitch about Elon Musk, and I don't understand why. Like I don't hate the man. I have no vengeance and I have no hate in my heart. I just don't think that he's the electric Jesus people make him out to be.
Get here with your blades and throw.
Left ring, right ring, which was past the fucking hot sauce. Dude, I ain't got no money for Black Friday. I guess I had to drink. I don't want to get like soft, like, because they're like kind of like soft bait. You're switching equal accounts too fast. I'll be right back.
I sometimes wonder if there was once some sort of accident in his brain.
We have been away too long.
Been going a while. What's up, fam? Same shit, different day, homie. The problem with Casual Rainbow is we got 150 viewers there, man. The chance I can get 5 people to play Rainbow is damn near non-existent. I wasn't complaining about viewers. I never expect Diablo to do well. This is more of like me, like, hey, just sitting in here to chill. Do I like Wendy's breakfast? Not really, no. I mean, like, usually if I go for breakfast, I usually go to like Bojangles. Kelly's not cooking for Thanksgiving. We're going to her parents. John, the reason that is because trolls actually, like, they do like play dates. Like, they get together in like,
Sorry, brother, I'm still stuck in
it's not Discord anymore, I forgot what it is.
This was your father?
And they all like coordinate to harass.
And with that, I cannot argue. I'll just contemplate that little nugget in silence then.
Do you consider yourself more a Chad or an incel? I'm neither. I can't make a foghorn sound, but like that deep, like, baroning noise. Rob Schneider's dead. Rob Schneider's not alive. Rob Schneider's the guy from Jaws, right? Oh, that Rob Schneider. I was thinking of Roy Schneider. You talking about Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, Rob Schneider. He's the guy that got really butthurt when I said you were better than him.
I don't even know what the new operator does. All I know is the hacks, like, drones and stuff.
He's supposed to be a defense IQ.
Digital today.
Once you've seen it, it won't let you go.
Smile. Buy it on digital today.
Good morning, aviators. This is your captain speaking. Having any fun yet?
This December, the biggest movie of the year arrives on Paramount Plus.
Let's get to work. Yes!
Top Gun Maverick. Streaming December 22nd on Paramount Plus.
Meant to made him. Made him be awesome right now. Whoa, where are you in? Open area.
These guys are terrible. Oh my God.
These guys aren't that great. What? Dude, why are you guys not helping, dude? Like, literally, it took a minute and a half for people to help a Capcan. Alright. And I got downstairs, in archives. Because we can't go down like that, because I fully expect to get G-Kill to go down 1-2.
Are you putting on an accent, or is that your actual voice? Hey man, don't react to those messages.
I've already got them muted. You can just mute them. Don't give up the stream, man.
No, he's actually pretty good, dude. He said he's gonna go sub. Nah, he's on YouTube. He can't subscribe.
your boy already.
Same type, right? You have people like accusing him of pedophilia.
Dude, stop. That's what I'm avoiding saying on stream, dude.
Okay, the ball.
Looks like this stream's getting deleted.
Every pro is an MVP to us. That's why we built a different kind of rewards and partnership program.
No way.
Your business has a chance to win a trip to the Super Bowl. And that's the kind of all-pro prize your business deserves. Join today for a chance to win a trip to Super Bowl 57.
Here we go, dude. We got Papa Gut out of cup.
Dangling from the hip of the bloody ghost of Sparta.
Do not call me that.
Don't mistake me,
It's like they're afraid to use their night creatures, dude. Turn your stuff.
Diablo, you're a legend, bro. You're a legend. You're gonna get put in a YouTube video that gets 3,000 views.
You must say nothing to the boy. You must never know.
No, don't kick me, bro. I'll do anything, bro. I just wanted $20 to get.
Yeah, that Diablo guy was garbage. Like I think he reinforced those things just to do it because he knew. I don't know if he knew any better. He looked 44.
Oh, yep. They're fucking.
Oh my fucking lord, guys! Seriously.
Yeah, this can't keep going to 2v5. 1v5.
Do not jump out, night creature. Dude. Don't do that. Like, seriously. Just calm down. Just sit. All you gotta do is sit in the fucking objective. You would help the team more if you just played Rook and just sat in the objective and then shoot your gun. What did you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I'm 1v5 as Mira. What do you want me to do? Nobody called out where they died. Nobody's using their microphone. People are jumping out into claymores. Don't worry about it. We just lost the game. What, 4-1? We're 0-2 right now. We're going to lose this one 0-4 too. I'm really good with shotguns. I don't get a chance to actually fight anybody because my team's all dead before I get it before they push the objective. We're basically playing this 2v5.
They nerfed my IQ stick, girl. Like, Twist, come on, bro. You've been cool the whole time you've been here. You did that. Just go ahead and back out.
You certainly know how to get around.
Alright.
Just surrender.
Oh, I didn't mean to shoot you. I'm sorry.
Just surrender before 20 seconds is over.
Brian.
It's been a shitty fucking day. It really has.
All friendlies have been neutralized.
I ain't team killed anybody. All I did was try to win every round. I'm not blaming myself. That motherfucker was a troll from the second I invited him in the game.
Yeah. He just laid silent.
You sit here 5 hours and get team killed over and over again and have people do the same played out shit to you for fucking 5-6 hours a goddamn day. And then you have a $300 chargeback and somebody threatening to sue you over it if you don't give them their money. How about you deal with that shit? Unlimited. Go away, dude. Don't ever fight. Don't ever see me nothing. No, I'm not. You got anybody who wants to play? Because I'm not pulling nobody else from the stream because I pulled 3 fucking trolls.
Yeah, I can target some people here.
Yeah, but the fact is nobody shows up for single player games, nobody donates, and nobody subscribes during them. Night Creature, leave, dude.
Alright, yeah. Good thing you went to game chat and do this.
I'm just kicking out the party.
whatever, either. Shut up, Sean, good Nick. Fuck you. Shut up. Yo, Reggie Kush. Stop messaging me.
He's not going to.
If you actually keep messaging me, I'm gonna get someone to pull your IP and do you on God.
He's not going to stop messaging you, and the more you acknowledge him, the more he's going to do it. He gets giddy.
Well, then keep messaging me, baby girl. I like it.
You got
I like it.
Back of your head.
Yeah, let me try. Get Harry to invite this Reggie. I'll give you his PSN. Get Harry to invite that guy to the party. Snag his IP
And break the
again.
fever.
I don't want to be Greek god or Ice Poseidon. I don't. I just want to make enough money to get the hell off this shit and never stream again.
Help me pop him up.
Is this showing like 4 people for you guys?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so glad we won that round. You know what they
Did I tell you that I had
I think the Rainbow Six guys might give us a free one here.
forever
Easy dub.
since I lost
Remember, hey, I'm gonna still set the site up. This guy.
I booted them all offline. I booted them.
Don't say that.
Yeah, say that on stream. Good idea.
He's bandit tricking his two reinforcements. The guy's a champ.
You want to give him a chance?
And Gwen Thatcher, that shit.
No.
Of course, everything I did for myself.
This guy's barricading. He actually thinks he's gonna
I
win.
let my needs.
I haven't done anything.
Yo, Reggie, why are you still messaging me? I sent you like 13 party invites and you're not joining. Why are you messaging me acting tough? Reggie, don't lie to the people. You've been sent countless amount of party invites and you're not joining.
Yeah, I'm streaming. Turn your messages off.
Reggie, you're not joining, bro. You're scared. I know you're mad because I didn't want your 10 PSN. No, slide out my DMs, baby girl.
Can you please stop using racial slurs?
Well, what's the...
It is a curse. The boy has been cursed.
Top 2 grooming tips all men should know. Get 3 free Dr. Squatch soaps with the starter set. I could see a scenario where these comments make somewhat sense if we weren't talking about the disaster known as Disney Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the concerted effort to consistently hire activists, people that hate the fans and hate the source material and hate everything that it stands for. When you take all of that context into equation, these comments right here is basically them just admitting every single thing that we have continued to say about them. Marvel Studios producer considers it a red flag if prospective writers are fans of the original comics, prefers to hire someone who's out of the culture. Now again, I can understand it if you want to hire someone in that doesn't have any preconceived notions of things. And you're like, okay, well, let me find someone who actually is qualified to make films or write things, and maybe they don't have an emotional attachment to it. But that's not what they're doing. They're actually going out there and hiring people that don't have any skill, don't have any talent, and don't care about this stuff. But what they really care about is being an activist. That's who they're hiring, and that's the big problem. And we are seeing this consistent problem from Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm, and anything else that Disney is touching right now. So that's why this article has so much connection to what's going on. As it wasn't obvious enough from simply watching any of the studio's post-Infinity War output, producer Nate Moore has revealed that he believes the key to Marvel Studios' success is hiring writers who are out of the comic book culture over anyone who loves the source material. Well, you didn't have to tell us because we can tell. And he was on a podcast, and it says, noting that some Marvel writers grew up reading and collecting comics such as the Avengers Endgame co-director Joe Russo and Black Panther director Ryan Coogler, Moore told Baloney, one thing I think is interesting, and specifically for writers, I would say, is that a lot of times we're pitched writers who love Marvel, and to me that's always a red flag. You consider it a red flag for a qualified writer who also appreciates the source material. You consider that a red flag. Holy shit, dude. My goodness, these people. Like, so what you're looking for is someone that doesn't know how to write, and someone that doesn't know Marvel, and someone that's not qualified, but they're really upset that Donald Trump's back on Twitter. Well, you're hired. Are you upset about that? You're hired. Do you have pronouns in your bio? You're hired. That's who they're looking for, and that's why we have the shitstorm that we have right now, and it's gotten progressively worse. So, yeah, I mean, this is insane, but this is where we are. Bob Chapek, he doesn't have a job right now because of shit like this, but it's not even his fault. While I don't like Bob Chapek at all, it's not his fault what happened. It's Bob Iger's fault. Bob Chapek was always going to be in this position to take this fall. Bob Iger is the reason that Disney is where it's at. Now, will they continue down that path? I don't see any reason why they won't. I mean, it's Bob Iger. It's his agenda. He's the one that built this woke nonsense up. So I don't see any scenario where things change. I consider them getting back to basics where Bob Iger, who I think is a skillful politician, where he can present that it looks one way, but in reality it's going to be a complete other way. That's why we've gotten things like Star Wars. Star Wars looked good. It sounded good. The promotion was there. And then you start to see what's really going on. Same with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They built it up doing it the right way. But all along they had this plan to make it more woke, to put more representation into it, to take all of these historically male franchises and feminize them. That's what they were planning the whole time, and Bob Iger is the architect that was behind all of that. So I don't see that changing anytime soon. But this is just a little more insight into the disaster known as the most recent phase of Marvel. You guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.
Hey, stop using these for ear cleaning. They're even banned to use.
Why'd you say nothing?
You said I was terse. You think I'm weak because I'm not like you.
Disney shocker. Bob Iger back as CEO. Bob Chapek out. I'm not shocked by it, as I've said already. I'm not shocked at all because I predicted the exact scenario that has played out, because to me it was as obvious as day. Bob Iger has been the CEO of Disney for like 15 years. And there were many people that they were trying to position to be his successor. And that kept falling through. They couldn't find anyone that the board or that the powers that be were going to be happy with. So Bob Iger kept extending his time as Disney CEO. And then out of nowhere, suddenly Bob Chapek gets announced as Disney CEO, and Bob Iger just says, I don't feel like running the company anymore. And nothing about that scenario seemed to make sense. The only thing that made sense was that the coronavirus was becoming a big deal overseas, and that heavily impacted Disney's bottom line overseas. And Bob Iger saw the writing on the wall, so he took a step back. Bob Chapek or Chapstick or whatever his name is became the fall guy, and now Bob Iger gets to come back into the fold while Disney is in a disaster state, and it seems like he's the hero, but in reality he's the guy that put all of this in place anyway. So again, here's what I said 2 years ago when this story broke. What I think happened with Bob Iger is he stepped away because he knew that what was going on overseas, and Disney is heavily involved with the overseas market from the theme park standpoint and movies. A lot of their movies don't do well here sometimes, but they do big numbers overseas. And what was going on overseas was already having a profound impact on what they were doing. Now, I'm not saying that he can predict to the level of what's going on right now, but there's definitely, he already saw some of the signs, and he jumped ship. So that way Bob Chapek could then take over. And I don't believe Bob Chapek is running anything. I still believe Bob Iger is in full control. I just believe Chapek is the titled CEO right now, and he will ultimately take the fall. And my theory here is that Bob Iger will then return as the savior once again when all this is said and done, which no one seems to know the answer to that question. And I stand by that 100%. Because none of this made sense to me at the time in terms of taking it at face value. It seemed like there was something else going on. Now, there's going to be a bump for Disney, I believe, because the perception is that Bob Iger knows what he's doing, that Bob Iger is, this is the return of the king, so Bob Iger's going to come back and fix all of the problems that happened under Bob Chapek. Bob Iger has done a lot in terms of acquisitions for the Walt Disney Company. He's also made it lose a ton of its personality. He's the reason that a lot of this woke nonsense has continued. He's been covering up for Kathleen Kennedy's failures at Lucasfilm. He's the reason that a lot of this has happened. He's the reason the majority of all of this has happened. So there's not going to be any improvement at the Walt Disney Company from a fan standpoint. Absolutely not. Now, from a market standpoint, I think there probably will be at least a short-term bump. And then we'll ultimately see what direction Bob Iger is going to take things. But I believe that the woke nonsense and the fact that they have alienated so many parents over the years, not with Bob Chapek's policies, with Bob Iger's. Bob Chapek was just a fall guy. That's it. So Bob Chapek is irrelevant in this entire situation. I believe that Bob Iger was always behind the scenes running this thing anyway. That's what I believe. I don't have any proof of that. That's 100% speculation on my part. But I believe Bob Iger was always still pulling the strings from behind the scenes. He just didn't want to be the public fall guy because he knew that they were going to go into an area that Disney was going to suffer, and he didn't want to be the person to take the blame because Bob Iger is not a legitimate leader. He is a coward, and he actually wanted to have someone else take the fall because he didn't want to run the company publicly through this turbulent time. That's the type of person Bob Iger is. He's a politician. He's positioning himself to look good from a market standpoint, and to his credit, he's done a fantastic job of that. He is a very, very tactful politician, and he does want to have a political career in the future as well. I don't know how this all plays into that, but that's neither here nor there at this particular time. But that's what I think right now. I don't think Bob Iger ever stopped being the Disney CEO. I believe that he was behind the scenes running it. Now Bob Chapek gets to walk away with like a $20 million payday. It worked out pretty good for Bob Chapek. It worked out pretty good for Bob Iger. Everybody, the corporate greed continues to be in a great place with them. So credit where credit's due. I'm not hating. I'm just telling you what I think happened. And now Bob Iger comes back into the fold publicly, but he was always there behind the scenes. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video. We will talk to you later.
Do it all behind the wheel of a capable new Kia SUV. Whatever your name.
Hi Muckers, welcome back to the second video I'm posting tonight. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and on my channel. I really appreciate you being here. And we've got an intense one to get to. So we have the Try Guys. They are fully kicking off their uploading of the videos that even include Nad. Now, we're not going to touch on any of the foundation that you need to know for this drama. If you don't know by this stage and you've clicked this video, I don't know how you've stumbled across this video. Go catch up. I have so many videos on it. There's no need to go back into it. We're just going to kickstart with what we need to talk about now. But basically, the Try Guys actually talked about the fact that they had filmed a bunch of videos, backlogged with Nad for the November-December period time on YouTube, and that a lot of them involved sponsorships. A lot of them were just videos that they can't reshoot, or we were aware that they were uploading videos that Nad was in, but they were removing him, and that was kind of how the speculation of the cheating or the fight started, because people knew that Ned was there for the filming of some of these videos, but he was nowhere to be seen in the videos because they cut out his sections, they cropped the video, but the guy said that for some of the videos it's not as easy as doing that, and like he's really involved in some of them, and then also as like a brand deal, he was involved in it too, like reading out the sponsorships. Now we haven't seen any of those videos or any examples of that until this moment, because everything until then had kind of been talking about the drama and them addressing it, and they were mainly focusing on their podcast. But we have the first example of what they were talking about. So I thought this was really funny, but a lot of people on their Reddit are there's mixed opinions on this. Now I want to know what your opinion is. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna talk about it, and then I'm gonna read out the kind of response to this. But I was actually shocked to see this post being like, I'm over it. Like I'm over them shading Nad, and I was like, okay. Like I was like, all right. So we're gonna get to it. Also, the Facebook Muckers group is down below if you want to request to join. It's where we talk about all the videos that I post. Also, second channel's linked down below. And also, one thing I wanted to say was I just got off a call with Adam and Eve, who are one of my main sponsors. Now, this video is not sponsored, but this is how you know that I genuinely mean that sponsorship. They're not paying me for this video, but they just let me know that the last couple of months have been really successful with a lot of you using the code Adam50. You get like 50% off one item and free shipping in the US and Canada and shipping everywhere. The deal, right? You're aware. This video is not sponsored, so blah, 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 blah. But all I'm saying is thank you so much to everyone using the code and supporting and getting presents for themselves for Christmas and, you know, getting presents for like their friends or whatever on adammeat.com. I really appreciate it. That's one of like the main loyal sponsorships to me, and I don't have many sponsorships, so for you actually using that code Adam50, I really do appreciate it. Again, this is not sponsored, but I genuinely mean it when I say it's an amazing sponsorship to have, and I'm really grateful. But anyway, we're going to get into the video. I did just want to mention that because I did just get off the call with them. Anyway, so here is what we're going to be talking about. So they uploaded their recent video, which was basically a competition, to put it lightly, that was going on. Now, this was filmed whenever Ned was still part of the Try Guys, and Ned was also a part of the competition. And I thought this was really fucking funny, but the editors, shout out to the editors who are probably working tirelessly to fucking edit Ned out. But when Ned is on camera talking, because he's beside all them, he's engaging in the conversation, they edited him into like multiple different things, and one of the main things was they just turned him into an elephant. And now I watched this and I enjoyed this profusely. I'm a drama queen, I love a little bit of drama, but also I just thought it was so fucking stupid and so funny. That basically, literally this 30-second clip. So this is when Ned is, you know, presenting, and they're ranking who did the best job, and Ned comes in last place. So you press.
So the Pop-Tart that's in 4th place, unfortunately, the dill left us wanting more. We wanted a little bit more flavor.
So crop time.
So sorry, Pop-Tart has made it to.
It's like corn dogs. It's just so. Just one more time, please. It's so fucking stupid, and that's what's good about it. That's what's good about it.
The dill left us wanting more. We wanted a little bit more flavor. So sorry, elephant. Pop-Tart has made it to
not fresh peanuts.
Place.
It is so stupid, and I can imagine Ned's loud ass shouting or something, and that was the only thing they could do to save it. I thought that was funny, and they had Rosina Pansino literally like voice over Elephant over Ned as well, and little voiceovers. Like they profusely were editing this so well, and shout out to the editors. But there are a couple people that were not happy about it.
Hey, War Gods Mark here, and we are at the Cliff of Raven, working on this Northern chest.
And that's
This
what
one could be a little tricky, so
anyway,
I'm going to go ahead and
this
point out
is like
the runes first. There's the first rune, there's the second rune,
from Abigail May 17.
and the third one is on this cliff. Now, these are powered by the winds of hell, so we're going to be transferring the wind from pod to pod. There's the third one. Now, I'm making this video and hoping that you have already cleared out all the enemies, all the obstacles, as much as possible. So the tide is going to be low for this to all work. Okay, so let's go ahead and climb down.
A little bit sad that
Now let's head over and get the winds of hell.
Or do I need to kind of accept that they're not
all the way back here?
Was once there.
You can see it through the gate right when you first got into the area.
Again, I'm sorry.
Back here.
I just feel like I might be.
So if there's some nodes here, go ahead and clear.
Now, someone responds. Affectionate Till said, "I understand where this is coming from, and I personally can't wait until we get to the stage where they're uploading videos that are free of scandals. It makes me wonder what they'll do whenever we return to their war, which basically is it's like an abbreviation for There Without a Recipe. It's like something they do every like holiday season, I think. So that being said, I'm not knocking the snark. Ned did them a massive disservice and nearly put them all in hot water because of what he dubbed consensual. They've known Ned for, forget my estimate, I'm tired,
right when you first got into the area.
And worked in such close proximity, you could really hear the hurt and betrayal in Zach's voice in the What Happened video. Sometimes humor is the best coping mechanism that you've got, not to mention the hours and hours of overtime the editors now have to put in to avoid any legal ramifications of showing Ned. I hope they got, a hefty holiday bonus. Now, I was seeing a lot of people in the YouTube comments of this video being like, this video shouldn't have been posted, like, this would be so much better, like, I missed when they were unproblematic, and that's where I immediately was like, right, I'm gonna start gathering stuff for this video, and then I find this on Reddit, so there's a lot of people on YouTube that are doing this as well, and I genuinely am, like, shocked by it, because I was like, number one, I agree with that person where it's like, they've earned the fucking right to be shady. Number two, fuck Ned! Like, who cares? Number three, their dynamic as a group has completely forever changed professionally. For them to avoid it, they would get criticism. They would get criticism for avoiding it, and now they're getting criticism for, like, engaging in it. And it's like a lose-lose situation. And I just think that there's so much pressure on them that, listen, I'm sure this provided them with some laughs, but also, they were forced to do this in a lot of videos, edit him out or whatever. Again, doing the elephant thing was so fucking stupid that it's, like, funny. I feel like it would have been even more awkward if they just put, like, a blank box over him or something, you know what I mean? So shout out to the editors, but I was seeing people on YouTube specifically, like, defending Ned almost in the comments, being like, this is severely unprofessional, Ned hasn't spoken up and said anything about the guys. What's he gonna say? He's the one who did the fucking mess! Like, I was shocked by it. I was really shocked by it, but we'll continue to see a couple more. A lot of people on the Reddit thread are saying, I can't wait until the time where they can sit down all three and film on something that doesn't even allude to the drama in the slightest. Alright, okay, so we have Iguana Avert said, I feel like it's a little extra shady right now because the videos they were releasing now were filmed, from September to October, so peak Ned drama. Or like War, the WAR, they had actually had Ned in it and they're, editing him out of the room, with, elephant things or the pole, etc. Soon it'll be relaxed a little bit, but I don't think they'll ever completely stop with the Ned jabs. I don't want them to stop as well. Sorry. I'm problematic. I love the Ned draggings, and I think he deserves it. He was a huge part of their lives and the company, and they had a huge public situation with him. I know I've had similar foliage with friends that happened over 10 years ago, and I still joke about it. And I think that is such a valid point where it's like, insert yourself in this. Like, if you ever, lost a friend that you've had for a long time, you still probably think about that person. You still probably are angry at that person. You still probably miss that person. You still probably love that person. You still probably, whatever. It's an emotion towards them. Now imagine that you're public about it, and that everyone is, asking you, is it me, and blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of pressure. There is. So, we have someone responded and said, yeah, I agree with this. Timing is the key thing here, especially considering that they literally had to digitally conceal Ned's presence in the last video. As a video editor, I'm very aware of how much fucking work this takes. Also, with doing voiceovers and, changing to holding up peanuts instead of Pop-Tarts, that is so much work that the editors didn't want to fucking do. I can only imagine. I wouldn't be surprised if all the shaded jokes are a coping mechanism to deal with all of the stress that they now have of the unnecessary burden of his actions that have been placed on all of them. How much they've had to remove him from the channel. He's able to probably walk off with a lump sum of money to shut the fuck up, but they're having to, allegedly, but they're having to do all this work now to cover him up, and it's like they're the ones that are out, the time, the money, the resources, along with, allegedly, if they had, paid him off. Do people think they did that? Would Ned have left the company, or would they have had to, pay him to leave? I would love to know. I'm just trying to, look through here, and I'm trying to, imagine, would he? Because you know where I'm coming at, where it's, the same thing with Alex. I'm looking through this thread here, and I'm like, people can say all the time where it's it would be awkward working situations, so they left on their own terms. Or maybe they'll make it awkward for everyone else and be like, shit, I got caught, and then they have to be, forced out by being paid. I really want to know. No one's really talking about that here, so let me know your opinion of it down below. Yeah, no one is really bringing that argument up. So I would love to know if people think that, what happened there. Was he removed and paid off, or was he removed and they didn't have to pay him off because he did so much damage? Let me know. Anyway, back to this. So, people are saying, I think they're just trying to make light of the frustrating, hurtful situation that is still ongoing. And that's what people are saying, where it's like, this is not a situation of the past, you know, this is something that is still ongoing. The important thing is, I don't think that they've ever taken it too far. They've stuck to jokes about the situation, i.e. 404 errors or like elephants on the screen whenever Ned's supposed to be there, rather than personal attacks. Absolutely the best thing, you know, that they can do to handle this is, you know, just continue with the snarky things they're doing instead of the mean things. And hey, they're better than me. I would be being mean. Like, I would be being mean. I wouldn't be like, 404, there's someone missing here. I'd be like, someone's missing and here's fucking Mike trying to ruin all of our careers. Fuck that. Like, I would...
He disappeared.
Listen, I don't know what you would be like in that situation, but I would have to be PR trained to the max. I'd be so fucking angry. Not only losing one of your best friends, but losing literally your coworker who's like equally, you know, part of the business is what you are. Fuck him. Who cares about his feelings? Sorry, like, fuck me. Alright, okay, we'll read out a couple more. I think people are agreeing with this person has got a lot of upvotes. Totally EJ. I think the shade will go once they finish releasing the content that they had to edit Ned out of. And in the meantime, I can't be harsh about it as they've lost a close friendship, a business partner, and, you know, his associated family. They need time to deal with that, as you do with any relationship that ends, but also ends badly. I think they're staying on the line of acceptable. Now, as well, we talk about this profusely on my channel, but they had made a big point that they had, you know, stock filmed a lot of videos to be posted during the November-December time. Now, they weren't just saying that for no reason. If you watch my videos, we've talked about the fact that November to December is normally when the YouTubers post most, because it's when Google AdSense pays most for the ads shown at the start of videos, the middle of videos, because advertisers are spending more money because it's Christmas time, people are buying more presents, blah, blah, blah. So they had stopped and filmed a bunch of videos to, you know, post daily during, you know, November, December. But now they've been thrown off that, and they're going to have to do double the work, even though they did all the work in advance so they wouldn't have to do any work. Now it's almost triple the amount of work to get these videos out, and they would probably even be easier refilming them, but then that's time and resources, and it's like, if Ned wasn't that, if Ned was like an evil person, he did what he did. If he was like an evil person, but like 99% evil person professionally, he would have like got caught in like January whenever they had like posted all their videos and made their money during like November, December. I'm not saying I don't like that, but I'm just saying like professionally, if he was smarter, he would have stayed November, December, made all the money, and then got caught in January. He shouldn't have been doing anything anyway, but if he was gonna fucking get caught, like, anyway. Alex, too, she would have made more money this period that she's currently out of work. I wonder what their next job is. I mean, I don't look up their LinkedIn. I don't want to do it in case it's like seen as like me being too invasive. But if you do, sorry, I'm not. Anyway, someone said, I don't find it mean at all. I think ignoring it will be creating more tension and more problems. I like how they own it in slots and keep it moving. I don't think there, you know, is a way through, you know, the WAR without pretending that is that video of the elephant, without pretending that Ned doesn't exist. So things like the elephant, I mean, we all know who's under there, and using the, you know, column or zooming in, you know, blocking him or blurring him or whatever, is the perfect thing that they can do to, you know, cover Ned. Using the column to cover Ned as a nod to the fan theory that a column was used to cover Ned in the stand-up video, it wasn't, but it was hilarious and talked about on the podcast. I think it's a perfect mix-up. We have to blow off some steam, but also there is no way around just faking everything is fine. We are going through it, and that's the authenticity that I appreciate from the Try Guys and have throughout this entire, you know, time. And then a lot of people like Abigail are responding and being like, no, that makes perfect sense. I haven't been watching compilations of best moments without, or sorry, I have been watching best moments, you know, without Ned. And I know logistically that things will eventually go back to normal.
My mother gave me this ring when I was going through a really hard time in my life. And when she's going through a hard time, she has it. We pass on this ring because, you know, we're always there for each other. It's our sisterhood. Bold reflections, inspired by your extraordinary love stories. Jared loved brilliantly.
But it was just that I wanted to, you know, get to that sooner. So that's the person who did the original post. So this person is engaging, you know, with everyone. And I mean, they're not alone. There is people on the YouTube as well that are thinking like this. So, people are saying there is no shade without sunlight. And then another person said, I'm a petty person that can hold a wicked grudge. There will never be too much shade for me. If someone has, you know, come too close to, like, damaging my company, my career, I'd be, you know, putting digs like this in my work for a while. It's therapeutic when they've been, you know, professional for so long about this. Okay, we'll read one more. So, someone said, quoting the person, do I have to, accept that everything will not be, nice and, daisies and roses about the Try Guys, and, they'll kind of speak out about this for a while. I mean this in the kindest way possible. Yes, they had a life-altering event happen. It's been about 2 months. Please give them a break. It's not drama, it's life. Imagine you had your best friend betray you and threaten your job, and when you went to talk about it, people just said that it was just drama. They had videos filmed out months ago that are just being able to come out now. Editors are having to work even harder to try and make it work. If they want to have a little fun at the expense of the person who caused all that extra work, why can't they? They are trying to return to a sense of normal, but it's pretty authentic to show that it, doesn't just happen overnight at all. Most of the near film videos have, been 1 or 2 comments towards Nad. If they can ruin, if Nad can have ruined 15 to 20 minutes of filming, they can make jabs for 1 to 2 minutes. Fuck, make jabs the entire way. Like, let's drag it. Let's continue to the comedy roast special. Fuck me, like, he deserves it. And there's just a lot of people saying they haven't been shady at all. Let's give them some grace. They've been through a very rough year, and they're doing their best to give us content that, Nad is now tainted. I feel like it's either this or no content. Personally, I don't mind it, and I wouldn't, mind if they released all of the videos, that were just completely dunking on Nad, because I just think he deserves it. A lot of people are saying I can't get enough of it because fuck Nad, and, people are saying that they just think that, okay, we'll read out this last one, actually, because this one has a lot of people responding to it. Sorry, I'm always like, I'm going to end the video, but then, like, I'm really into it. Andy said, I feel the shade is because of the fans. When the whole drama came out, they noticed fans were dissecting every second of the videos trying to find evidence of Nad being edited out. They mentioned the fans were more committed than the FBI into investigating what had happened. So the jabs, like the elephant in the room or the pole covering him, that's a nod to the fans who know Ned is there. It's actually easier than editing him out fully, and they know we're aware that, the season that they filmed for the couple months, Ned is in basically all of them. They're taking advantage of being lighthearted and, editing it out by making a way of saying, yeah, he's there, we know you know it, but let's kind of make light of a shitty situation and have fun. I actually really enjoyed this approach a lot more than just giving us no content. I laughed loudly at the elephant, so basically, kind of like me, I was like, this shit's funny. I laughed loudly at the elephant, however, I hope going forward, they're able to move on. So there is a lot of people like that. The further down I go, the people being like, they can be as shady as they want, but I do hope that eventually we can get to a time where, it can just be the 3 guys. And a lot of people really enjoy the Try Guys just being the 3 guys, so they're rooting for no Nad mentions. And we have someone responding to that one. This is going to be the last one, I promise. Yeah, I never thought of the pole or elephant as shade as much of, a sort of, lighthearted way to handle the inevitable job of having to edit Ned out. The shots of, like maybe looking to the camera, making certain jokes about Ned as well, they're also able to do that. Also, I know we're all used to the news cycle moving on super quick, but this isn't just the news cycle for them. It's the dramatic breakdown of a long-time friendship and business partnership, and the particular circumstances that left them with months of work to clean up. The shade hasn't really been too noticeable to me, but I don't listen to the podcast or closely follow their social media. I do expect there'll be a significant drop-off in shade once they're all out of the stuff that they had to edit him out of, or once they finish, contractual stuff that we're not aware of. Well, let me know your opinion, because there are a handful of people out there that are really, over this. And then there's a lot of people that are like, I'm here for it. Me! Let me know. I love you. Thank you for watching this video. Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, my second channel, the Facebook group. Come join it. And yeah, I really appreciate you being here. Let me know your opinion. See you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.
We know banking isn't just about numbers. Introducing Wells Fargo Premier, an elevated financial experience to help you plan your future the way you live your life. Wells Fargo Premier, banking, lending, and investing designed around you.
Hi, Muckers! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and on my channel today. I really appreciate you being here. And I'm very interested for the conversation that's going to happen with today's video. And yes, if you're noticing, I'm back in Brighton for a couple days before I go back to Ireland, so the familiar setting is back. But yeah, today's video is probably going to be one where I get heated. Now, this is a topic I really care about, and I hate whenever people are so, like, overtly hypocritical and so overtly lie and so overtly it applies for everyone but themselves, rules for thee, not for me. That kind of stuff really pisses me off. And this full new era, should I say, of Trisha Paytas, where everyone's like, oh my god, Trisha Paytas is like so wholesome, and like Trisha Paytas is just like rebranded so well, and all like this bullshit. I'm like, if y'all knew Trisha Paytas like we know Trisha Paytas, you would be very aware that she has spent so long in her career dragging, calling out, exposing hate videos, dragging videos, all these different things. Twitter posts, Instagram posts, all these different